Hi guys, welcome to TK Beauty Affair. This is a beauty channel and we will be doing hair, nails and makeup, my sister and I. Okay, this is our first video and we are bringing to you a nail video. Here as you can see, I am prepping my foam to place on my finger. So I actually joined two forms here to get the actual length that I wanted. I rolled the forms in my hand, so therefore it will have a C curve. Here I'm applying the hydrator protein bond 2 coats, and now I am placing my first bead at that free edge where the free edge and the nail form meet. I always sandwich my nails between two layers of clear acrylic, so I am pulling it as I am starting my stiletto. Sorry if I go out of shot, this is the first video and eventually I will get accustomed to it. So I am placing the second bead here and I am blending it into that first bead and pulling. This is a very thin layer. It's not a thick layer at all. It's a very thin layer. So whenever I decide I want to, if I don't want to stake it completely off or soak it, because I don't like soaking actually tend to damage, it don't damage but it burns my natural skin and my nails. I don't know why, probably I'm allergic, but acetone, sorry. So I just put on my thin clear layer, so whenever I want to do a redesign I can always just file it back down to that thin clear layer and do another design. So here I am pulling it, trying to get it as neat as possible, and I'm going down the entire length of the form. I actually like long nails. That is me doing my own hand, as you can see. So it's just like a pulling and patting motion. It's very thin, like I said, it's not bulky, and yeah, it's very thin. So I'm just there, and that edge needed a little more acrylic for it to be straight, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just adding a little more there. Okay, so here I'm applying the cuticle bead. Right now, your cuticle bead, you don't want it to be too runny, nor do you want it to be too dry. So what I did was I placed it at that cuticle and I pat it to the side, and I pull it very thin on both sides, and I left the bulk in the middle of the nail, because the middle of the nail is where you want your apex to be. As when you're sculpting nails, you see that edge there where I keep applying little beads of acrylic. You always want to make sure that they have enough product, not too much product where it is bulky and when time to file, you file away a design, but you always make sure that over there has enough product, because if you only bounce your nail or hit it anywhere, it will just snap very easy. Here I am testing the nail to see if it needs pinching, because I always pinch my nails for it to be very slender, also for it to have a proper C-curve, for it to have strength. I do not like fat stilettos. If I can get stilettos as thin as possible, I'm very happy with them. So you see how thin that nail is? It's extremely thin. Down the barrel of the nail, it's extremely thin, and it's even right through. So here again, pinching again, making sure that it's nice and slim. A tip for pinching is you don't want to pinch when the acrylic is wet, because it's just going to move the acrylic. How you know your nail is ready to be pinched? You will feel your nail and it will be slightly warm or even warm, depending on the temperature that you are in and wherever you are. If it's colder, it will take long, acrylic will take longer to set. If it's hot, it will set faster. So it all depends on where you are for that acrylic to set. So as you can see, I took my nail forms off, sorry. Now I'm applying the black. What I did with this, I actually wanted it to be sort of see-through and gray. So what I did was I took acrylic paint and I mixed it into my monomer. I tinted my monomer with it. So I'm picking up regular beads, but I'm just picking it up with clear acrylic powder. Excuse around the cuticle area being messy. It was very hard for me to film and do my own hands. Normally I'm not messy, but it was very hard for me to do that. Now you will see a little bit of the marbling on top. You just want to take your brush and just brush it out, and it will be all well and fine. So just pat and pull in place. always remember to keep the bulk of that nail in the center and not on the ends, because you will file it right off when you go to file. So here I'm taking a little bit of blue and I am marbling it into it. I don't want too much blue, just slight amount of blue, like little beads of blue, and when I pick it up with that same black tinted monomer. I do not use clean monomer, I use the same black tinted monomer, so therefore the blue will get tinted as well and wouldn't be so bright. Reason for this, I don't want it too bright because the dragon that I will be doing later on in the video, it is that color, so I don't, unless there isn't much blue. So, and now to cover that blue just slightly, I take some tinted monomer again with clear acrylic powder, and I'm just going over it lightly, like a light wash, so it's not gonna have too much of blue shining through. So now I'm taking a glitter mix and I am applying that right around the edge of the nail very thinly. I don't want it to be too out there either. I just want it to just have a little sparkle to it, not much. So just using the tip of my brush, I'm dipping my acrylic into clean monomer and into that clear acrylic powder, and taking up a little bit of glitter and just moving it around with the tip of my brush, and that will go around the perimeter of the entire nail. I will just take a little bit, as you will see, just in a little bit, and I just lightly wash it in the center of the nail, not much, because the beauty of it is for the glitter to be around the nail, not in the nail. Excuse the lighting, it's a little movable. It's 1 minute is extremely bright, next minute it's a little low, but as I said, I will get accustomed to it while going down the road. So here now I'm taking clear acrylic and I'm capping my nail. I do not like my apex to be in the middle of my nail at all. I don't like it at all. So I put my apex at the back of my nail where the cuticle area is coming out, sorry. I do not like that apex in the center of my nail at all, where the cuticle area is very slim and then coming out to the hump and then coming back slim. I do not like that look at all. You can definitely do it however you want it and however you like it, but that is just my personal preference. As for here, when capping nails, whether it's long or short, there's no specific way in you saying that you need any certain amount of beads to cap your nail at all. No, definitely not. If you have to use 10 beads to cap it to get the job done, use 10 beads and get it done. If you can use 3, well, that's good. But if you have to use how much beads, there, as you can see, I'm showing you that there's a dip, so I'm about to put another bead there. If you have to use, as I was saying, if you have to use 10 beads, use it. As long as it makes you comfortable and you get the job done properly, you're happy, your client's happy, whatever the case may be, just get it done. Work smart, not hard. So here again, as you can see, I'm out of shot and I do apologize again, but pulling and keeping it in the center. Now here I am retracing the wing. I did draw the wing for the dragon, but I lost that clip. So here I'm just retracing it, the wing, because this is the paper at the back of the form, so that's what I'm using, because it will pull off very easily. Here I'm using that same tinted monomer with the clear acrylic, and I'm just putting it on there, and I'm putting it actually very lightly this time, because this is the first layer and I'm outlining where the pen marking is. So cleaning it and making sure that it stays neat, using the tip of my brush to ensure that it is neat and clean. Like I said again, if there's any marbling on top, all you need to do is just take your brush and just stroke it over it, and it's gonna get all right. As for here, I actually wanted the wing to be slightly patchy, and I didn't want the wing to be completely opaque. I wanted it to be see-through. So even if it was patchy for me, I really didn't mind because that's exactly how I wanted it. So as for the edges, just slightly take the tip of your brush and just put it. If you're not accustomed, if you're not comfortable using your acrylic brush, this is a size 8 Kolinsky brush. You can definitely use a 3D brush, so it will be easier for you. Just use whatever makes you comfortable. So again, I'm going over it one more time, and I am pulling it, patting and pulling, cleaning the edges, making sure that that point is there because I don't really want to have too much filing to do. Yeah, I don't really want all that much filing to do. Who likes filing? I do not like filing at all, at all, at all. So just work with it nice and neatly. Like I said, again, any amount of beads, just build it up as how you like. If you want it more dark, you can do it darker. If you want it lighter, you do it lighter. However you want it, your personal preference, you go right ahead and do it. So I'm building it there, making sure that all the areas that I want is covered, and wherever I want it dark, I put it a little darker. That little open out part there, that is where the wing will be attaching to the body. So yeah, still putting more of that acrylic because it still isn't where I want it to be, so I'm just putting a little bit more. Okay, so here I'm going in with the blue acrylic powder with the same tinted monomer I'm picking it up with, and I am just lightly washing that over. I didn't want to bring it all the way inside. I just wanted this blue to be on the edge, not on the entire wing. I didn't want it so much on the I didn't want it on the inside of the wing, nor did I want it to be too out there either, because even the blue area I want see-through. The reason, and this is why I tend to use the tinted acrylic liquid, because it will definitely tone it down. I'm just straightening the wing, as you can see right at the top, right? You're gonna see that wing. I just shift it all the way. Now I'm going with that same glitter that I used on my middle finger, and I'm just putting this glitter right on the edge around that wing. I'm not bringing that in either. I just want it on the edge where that scallop looking pieces, and I'm taking it and just putting it there, and will slightly fade it into the nail. As you can see, again, with the tip of my brush, I am making sure that that edge is nice and crisp and neat, so again I wouldn't have a lot of filing to do, because to file these, it's not hard, but as long as you have an electric file and the proper bits, it's not hard. But when you can save some time, it's better to save some time than putting yourself through all that edge to do all that work. So again, making sure the edges is nice and clean and neat. What I usually do when I pick up my acrylic with my glitter with clear acrylic, I tend to roll it, so therefore the glitter end up on top and the clay end up at the bottom, or sometimes, depending on the mood I am, I will just lay it there and sort and just slightly mix it, so the acrylic and the glitter will mix into one. It all depends on my mood. There is no time to say yes. There's no saying that I would say yes, I'm doing this, and yes, I'm doing that. This is how I do. This is how I do. No, it just depends on my mood and how it is I'm feeling there at the moment. That's exactly what it is I'm going to do. So I'm adding a little more glitter because I wanted this part of the glitter. I didn't want it to be opaque. I didn't want it to be see-through. I wanted it to be a little bit solid. So that's why I'm adding glitter. Here I'm coming at that very edge here, and I'm adding it. I didn't want it to be I didn't want it to go all the way inside, and at the edge where I'm about to put that, I didn't want it to be too thick either. I wanted that to be see-through, so I just lightly put glitter there because I wanted it to tie back in with the edge where the wing is. I didn't, you see, I'm just wiping off some because there was too much for me. I didn't want it so much. That's what, so I just wiped it and just add. So this area wasn't blended enough for me, so what I did, I just took like a small bead with some glitter, and I'm just passing it right through to just sort of blend in over there because it was too solid and it wasn't looking good. So I believe now I'm about to cap. Oh no, I add a little more glitter there. because I wanted there for the, I want that peak, I wanted it to be solid as well. Alright, so I think I'm about to cut now and clear. Am I? Oh, no. Here I'm actually adding some more glitter on the edge because my sister said she find it isn't pointed enough. So I'm adding a little more glitter on the edge here and just adding, and I did that on all peaks. I didn't bother to show all that. Now I am cupping the entire wing in clear acrylic powder because, and I want to file it and I don't want all the glitter to file off. So I am cupping all in clear. I didn't want the wing too thick either. I didn't want it too thick, and I didn't want it too thin where it's breakable, but I didn't want it too thick where it will be heavy. So I just wanted to have a nice size where it's durable. So just a tip for capping glitter is you would always know when your glitter is capped in clear acrylic, it will go matte. If you ever have glitter and it's still shiny, that simply means that it isn't capped. So therefore you will need to cap it with your acrylic clear acrylic powder. If you leave any glitter that isn't capped, when time for filing, you will definitely file it off and all your hard work will just go in vain. And we all know how that feels when we take so much time to put in all this work, time and effort, and then it just got filed away. So just take a little time and do it. That's why I say even if you have to use 10 beads, use 10 beads and get the job done properly than trying to use 1 and 2 or even 3 beads and then it's not proper. There's no wrong or right way in doing nails. Do exactly what suits you and what makes you comfortable. There isn't no rule saying that you have to do it this way and you have to do it that way. Just do what suits you and what makes you get and what makes you comfortable. That's all. So here I am making sure to cap that peak, making sure that it's capped nicely. And what I did was, oh excuse me, what I did was I sent that acrylic just a little bit over the clear acrylic, so when time for me to file, when it's time for me to file, I will not file off the glitter but rather file that extra clear. As you can see, I'm fixing there, just file the extra clear so that peak is nice and sharp and seeing glitter. I didn't show all, I just showed 2. Okay, so this is where we're going to start the dragon's body and tail. This is the backing of the nail form. So I measured my finger and I made 2 slits at the top, and here I'm just cutting off the little excess at the bottom. So now I'm about to wrap it because I don't want the monomer to be on my skin, because you know it's not really supposed to be on your skin, but sometimes doing it on yourself it's very hard, so you don't have a choice, but you know. So I'm wrapping it so when I lay the body it will be very easy to come off. Here, as you can see, my sister is helping me put some tape to keep the paper down, also putting it here because the head is going to be up there. So she's helping me tape it down because it's difficult doing these things on your own. Excuse her hand, I haven't got the chance to fix it as yet. So again, I'm rolling the foam. The reason why I left in this part is because I didn't put the foam as tight as I usually put for the stilettos, nor did I cut wings where it will go completely under the nail for the stilettos to be extra slim. I just left it there. I didn't want it too slim because I wanted to have enough space where I can make the tail. So now I'm about to sculpt the tail, and I come in with my first bead at the cuticle area. Again, what I do is I lay my bead down and then I pat and pull on both sides and leave the bulk in the center. Again, I am pulling, patting and pulling, and I am about to start curving the tail. I didn't want the tail to be straight, so I did a slight curve on the tail, like squigglies, S, whatever you want to call them. That's exactly what it is I did. Yeah, that's exactly what it is I did. As you can see at the top, where the top of the paper is, the tape didn't hold because just trying to get this part done was very tedious. So Yeah, it was a it to be honest, I didn't to be honest, it was a bit difficult, but I enjoyed doing it. It wasn't as hard as I expected it to be, but it was good. I didn't want to do a regular stiletto on this one as I'm doing the complete dragon. So um I did detail in the squiggly line. But it's the same length as the other stilettos. So I'm just putting that acrylic and I am patting and pulling and pushing to make sure I can get it where I want, because again I don't want to really have much filing to do, as I didn't really have much filing to do in this dragon actually. So I'm just forming that S shape, and as I kept going down with the tail, I went slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. I didn't keep it as thick as when I now started it on the nail bed. I kept going slimmer and slimmer. So I'm going down. Starting to work in smaller beads rather than bigger beads, because where I am is hot and it tends to set fast, and I was sitting by a window. So yeah, and here I decided to just take one big bead, and it was too big, so I had to, just so you see me taking off some acrylic there, because it would have ended up too thick. Right, just take off some of the edge there, and I am pulling it down. Making sure it's nice and neat and how I want it. Nails is so versatile. You can do so much things with nails as long as you have the imagination of what to do. Again, I'm coming to pinch, but I'm not giving it a strong pinch as I did with my stilettos at all, at all, at all. Giving it a slight pinch. Now, I didn't show me sculpting the body because this video is already long and I didn't want it to be overly long. So this is where you'll see the body there, and I just took that paper off together with the nail forms. And I'm using that same tinted monomer with the clear acrylic powder, and I am painting the entire body in it. So this is why I did it to the other nails, because I wanted the set to tie in properly. And as for the other four nails, you see how I did the wing with the glitter at the very edge? That's why I did those other nails the same way, so it would come in as one. So here I am putting and fixing the tinted acrylic and tinted monomer and clear acrylic powder. Here you just have to tend to keep building the color, building until you reach the complete color that you want. So I'm putting, that's the body there, so I'm putting it there. Yeah, I'm putting it, I'm building it as to where I want it. The head isn't on as yet. I did make the head one side. I did sculpt the head one side, but actually didn't show me sculpting the head because again the video would have been too long, and it's already long, and I still didn't want the video to be overly long. But yeah. So that's the neck that I am putting it on. Yep, putting neck. And just building it up. I don't want it to be too slim, nor do I want it to be too thick, because it's on my finger and it will definitely have some weight. But at the same time, I don't want it to be breakable, where as I do anything it just snaps. So I am building it. Okay, so now again I'm taking that blue with the tinted monomer and I am just giving the dragon a wash over its body. Again, just as how I did the other stiletto nails, that's exactly what it is I'm going to do here. So I'm just washing that blue over it nice and thin, where it's not gonna show up too much of the blue, where it would overpower the black under. So yeah, I'm just giving that a wash right through the entire dragon's body and tail. Just slightly giving it a wash. My sister was telling me she wasn't seeing the blue so much on the body, so I just went in with a tad more blue and I just give it a wash over it again, so it's a little bit more seeable. Okay, so where I did the netting on the neck, I was completely out of shot, so I just took it off and said that I would show you all exactly what it is I was doing in the body. I didn't want any glitter in the body at all, so I mean in the neck, sorry. So I'm just slightly washing the glitter over the body and the tail. I didn't want it in the neck because I want the head to have that darkness. I didn't want any glitter in the head at all, at all, at all. So you see my sisters, they're fiddling with the net waiting to put it on. I couldn't put on the net by myself. It was very hard. So what I did was here, I actually used the clear acrylic powder, and you will see what happened, why I stopped using the powder. Actually, I used the tinted one at the top and the neck. I don't know why I decided to use it on the body, but here, as you can see, I'm waiting. The thing with netting is when you're placing your net, you need to wait until that acrylic goes matte. Well, yes, it has to go matte because it will just mash up. But as for these nails, I didn't want it to go completely matte as I would do it on a regular nail, because when she pulls, you see how it's sticky, it pulls off and give off that scaly effect, and that's exactly what I want. I didn't want it to be neat because the dragon skin isn't neat. So here I'm just taking that tinted monomer and I'm just passing it all over that clear acrylic, so therefore it will get dark as well because I didn't like it. Here again, I am applying my monomer and my tinted monomer and my powder, my clear acrylic powder, and my sister again is gonna come in and she's going to do it. I couldn't do this in one, I had to do it in parts due to the heat of where I am. So here she's going in again with that netting and she's pushing it in very firmly. She's gonna wait a little bit and then she's going to pull it out. She's not going to pull it out very easily. She's going to pull it out slightly rough because again we wanted that dragon effect. You see that pull effect? That's exactly what it is we wanted. See, she's telling me don't touch it and pat it down because we're going to lose that effect that we just created. So what I usually do every time I apply acrylic, I always tend to wet the area just so there wouldn't be any air bubbles or any dried acrylic left under, because I don't like to see that white ashy look to the acrylic. So I always wet with monomer before I apply my acrylic. So she's waiting again to push in that net. You see, just waiting for it to go slightly matte, not completely matte as you would with a regular nail. Yeah, because we wanted that sticky pull-up effect. So pushing it very firmly in and waiting for it to go, and she's gonna pull it up. You see, so there we get it. I didn't show the entire nail, but I did show the ending and the little piece of the tip there. So now here comes the part where I'm going to attach the wings. So we measured the wing and we decided where we wanted to put them. So here I'm taking a drill bit and I'm just making a little incision here to start off the area that I would like to put the wings. I just switched to a cone bit, a coarse bit, which will be faster and easier to drill that hole. While doing this, please be careful because if you go too deep, you can file into that acrylic completely and cut your hand, and we all know that carbide bits is very mean and it's coarse, so it will definitely tear at your skin in no time, because if it can tear away hard acrylic, imagine what it can do your flesh. So please just be careful while doing it. Yeah, So just keep filing and just be careful what it is you're doing. I actually did start to feel some heat on my flesh, and when I looked in, I saw that I reached the very thin clear layer. So I had to stop and measure the wings. So here you're gonna see my sister and I measuring the wing where we would like it to go. She's stopping. I don't know. I think she was talking to me, telling me something there. That's why she was stopping. So here, this is where we're going to apply the wing. I did come out of shot, but what I did, I took that same tinted monomer and clear acrylic and I just push it into the hole, and my sister is there holding that wing so it will go in place properly. And she's holding it so it can dry, and then I come in with little beads of acrylic and I'm going to put it in the center and at the back, so therefore the wing is braced on the nail itself. So it's not going to fall, it's not going to break, because we all know when acrylic gets hard, it's hard as hell. So I'm just making sure that that stays sturdy. I did put in the middle, around, and at back. So this is what it looks like with the wing attached. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Yeah, so now I'm about to attach the head. Like I said, I didn't show the head on camera, the making of the head, so you're gonna see the head. She's here helping me attach the head again, and I'm just pushing that acrylic and making sure it's in. Again, putting acrylic right around so that head is not going to fall, it's not going to break, nothing. I am bracing it because this took me a while to do, so this took me about 2 hours to do, or 3, probably more to do, so I don't want anything to just snap it off very easily. Yeah, so here I'm going in again and making sure it's nice and neat, but at the same time you want to brace it, but you don't want it to be too bulky. And here she's gonna come in with netting again to put the netting on that where the neck is joined, so therefore it will come in as one. So you see she's putting it there and she's gonna raise it. Yes, so this is where we have come to the end. Well, not completely the end, but I didn't show where I made the eyes and stuff for the head, nor did I show me doing the veins, because it was very hard to do, and I was completely out of shot, so I didn't bother to do it. But here you can see me top coating. I always put protein bond on my nails before I top coat, and being as a sort of a see-through nail, I put top coat at the bottom of the nail as well, so it will be very clear when you're seeing right through. You're not gonna see the bottom ashy and the top clear, because I wanted it to be see-through. Also with the dragon, I did top coat the wings, but like I said, it was very hard to show on camera. And also the body of the dragon, I didn't top coat it completely. I just give it a wash, because the wings would have been shiny and nice and the dragon would have been matte and dull, and it didn't look nice. So I just slightly put top coat over it. So I'm curing for 120 seconds, and here you can see, excuse the tools, but here you can see the entire dragon, and the nail is completed in the sun. I left this in real time. I didn't bother to fast forward this, but I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I would really like to see someone else recreate it. It was very nice doing this, but yeah, so look forward to more videos coming on this channel. I don't really do regular plain nails. I don't really like them. I always like to challenge myself and do something out of the box. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that you guys would like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to press the notification bell so you never miss a video. Also follow us on Instagram and you'll see what we're doing there. We thank you guys so much for watching, and have a blessed day. Bye.